Okay. All right. So we're in the editor, and we're looking at a piece of footage that Mel and I shot about 5 years ago, probably something like that. We were in this particular area for about 4 years, from 2015 January. We haven't been there in a while, but I mean it's still ongoing now to 2022. Last time we seriously had a campaign going was right around now. And as you can see, they were really interested in interacting with us back then. We had a great deal of stuff going on around us, behind us, across the water. It was interesting. And as we began the campaign, it was because of their behavior that we recognized what was going on. So it was a situation, I think, where there were several factors involved. This particular creature, you can see its eyes right here and its nose, and there's the pointy head. And really, this is actually under here a normal skull, and the hair sticks up off the head into a point. It's not a pointy skull. The skull is probably this line right in here, and you can see where the darker spot is. That's actually the head. And then you've got hair sticking off of it. But I've seen that up close and personal. I can tell you that's the way it is. And also right here, where this creature has hair, I've seen one that was approximately 9 feet tall, and it had a bald spot right here. And the hair came off the back of the head into a point. And when he turned sideways, he had a human skull, except for off the back of his head, he had like a bunch of hair sticking up in a point. It was very strange. But this particular guy is the same species, and he actually resembles the individual that I saw and actually filmed that day. That was last year. This is actually what the footage looks like if you were sitting there and you were looking across the water. I'm going to turn the light effect off. Oh, I can't because it's been, okay, it's already been compounded, so we're stuck with it. But if you look at the beginning, I think right in here, I can turn this off. Yeah, so if I go to this area, I can turn that off. And so this is what you actually would be seeing. That's the creature, and you can see you got the nose, and that's the bridge, and it's wide right here. It appears to be, right? And then you can kind of see where the nostrils are on the side there. This is that line, cheek line, coming off the side of the nose. It's very prominent with these creatures, a lot of them. It's also the nostril. You can see the entire nostril. You can even see where the color change is on a nostril if you look closely. This side, you can see, appears to be white, and that's the actual color of the skin. There's just a little bit of green light bouncing off something in here. It could be from down here, because the reality of this situation is we don't see all of the available light spectrums. But what I want to do is I want to reset this. There it is right there. So the green is still prevalent. Even with these low light levels, we've got green running right down the middle of his face. If we bring those levels back up, and it aids in the contrasting, and we can see the creature a little bit better, you can see again that nose right there, the bridge. And he may have his hand up, I'm not sure. But, just looking at it, it's an incredible piece of footage, because it really does show what most of these smaller ones, this guy's probably around 6.5 or 7 feet tall. He's not a real big one. We're learning they get a lot bigger than that. So in this same area. So if we take this guy right here and we throw a little light on it, we'll get a much better look, and possibly a good look at the eyes. Certainly we're going to get a better look at the face altogether by cutting in a little bit. So there we go. You can actually see his eyes in there watching me. And the cheekbone comes down, and the rest of the face is, as we see, responding to color change. It's a fascinating look at the real-time data that you see during an encounter here in Florida with some of these creatures. They appear to be changing colors or different colors, and they're blending in. They look just like the environment.
I just felt like a heaviness. Interesting.
All right, so when we talk about collecting evidence, I went nuts with tracks. Mel and I went nuts. Not all of these creatures, and this is really what we've learned, because there's such a drastic difference in their DNA, and this is obvious in the differences that you will begin to see once you study the creatures long term. You'll be able to see the creatures, man. You'll catch them on film. You'll be able to identify them, and what you're going to notice is they look drastically different. The Ketchum study was confirmed by independent criminal labs, and the entire scientific and academic community dogs it, when in reality, all you have to do is look at the subset of tracks that we found in the last 8 years, and you will begin to see the genetic differences between the individuals. Some of the tracks appear to be flat, the way most Sasquatch tracks are actually described. The big ones. Well, some of the ones we find that are flat are 8 inches long. They look just like the giant ones. Whereas other ones we find appear to be more human-like, and they're walking with the non-human primate hybrid track. While they appear to be more human, obviously, in this particular instance, the 6 trackways we've found suggest that the DNA is correct and not people's opinions about Bigfoot tracks. These creatures can come in all shapes and sizes. Obviously, there are several different genetic variations within these family groups, and you can witness this in your own research if you begin to do it diligently. Catching the creatures on film should be job 1, once you've established things like what Melanie and I did here. The first trackway we found had over 700 tracks that we documented personally. Here's a short view of some of those tracks. This is where we started to put together that the Ketchum study was not only correct, but you could view the hierarchy in the genome, and you could also view the genetic variations within the family groups in their tracks. Some of the tracks appear to have a slight arch. Some tracks appear to have a very pronounced arch. Some tracks appear to be so emaciated that they appear to be bony, really, while other tracks just look like big, typical, flat Sasquatch tracks. This particular foot, we've tracked this one. This is Melanie and I, the first time we documented it. Carrie and I documented that same individual's footprint. It's an impossible if you'd like to see it. Anyway, here's a few of our tracks.